I spoke to mothers and grandmothers, and they told me they think these women need to take care of their children.
If you look at Shoal Creek, this is usually one of the first places to flood, and it's completely dry right now. A lot of U.S. money is being poured into the Kabul Military Training Center. But I want to show you just how fast they were going. They came careening down 11th Street here. The truck actually jumped over the curb. You can see the tire marks all the way through the ground, and then crashed through the building. These are the streets State Department workers and other U.S. workers don't venture out onto anymore because of the recent spike in kidnappings, but these are the streets of Kabul. Willie Jessup told them, hey, come back with a court order, come back with a warrant, otherwise you're not coming back onto our property. Why did you vote on this issue when usually you vote to break a tie?
No, well...
I've got my cell phone with me, and we're here at a closed course in San Marcos. This is the grass you'll find out there right now. This is hay that they've been using to cover the field after all of the rains created all of this mud. It looks like at 4:30 in the morning here in Beaumont.
Jenny Hoff of KXAN, were you in the courtroom?
I was in the auditorium, Larry, which is right next to the courtroom, and there were a lot of mothers in there as well as a lot of lawyers and media. They were watching that screen, wanting to hear every word the judge had to say, as well as the investigators. And I looked to the left of me at one point, and I saw several of those moms sitting in a row, and at some points they would put their heads in their hand. They looked like they were crying, especially when they heard names of these children pop up or names of their husbands.
Thanks, Jenny. As usual, right on the ball. Jenny Hoff.
It's incredible to think that Sergeant Munley actually survived the event that happened there on Thursday. But we talked to a man who witnessed it all and said even though he was just a few feet away, he was unable to help.
I could see everything. It kind of happened like it was in slow motion.
Trapped inside the building right next to the Soldier Readiness Center, Specialist Thomas Becerra watched the entire scene unfold. Major Nadal Hassan waving his gun and shooting into the crowd, and civilian police sergeant Kimberly Munley running in to stop him.
You know, it was put out that he was in the building, so she just ran towards the building, and then as soon as she turned the corner, he was right there, maybe 20 feet away.
After exchanging gunfire, Munley retreated and Hassan advanced.
I was thinking if I was outside, I could have yelled to her that, hey, he's right around the corner. I was helpless, totally helpless.
That's when Becerra heard another shot.
He took a shot at her, and he hit her, and she went down, and she was on the radio. I could see that she was on the radio calling, and I guess she was saying officer down, and she was looking up at him, and he had the gun pointed, and he shot her again.
Becerra says that's when other officers brought Hassan down, and the soldiers started trying to save their fallen comrades.
In one wounded, I had to use my belt, and as a pressure dressing, I had to use my pad, my feminine pad, to keep him from bleeding.
You're almost in disbelief when someone that you've trained with for so long comes in and they're covered in blood and they're just saying, help me.
Now, Sergeant Munley is recovering in the hospital. No word yet on if she'll be able to attend the ceremony here tomorrow. Reporting live from Fort Hood, Jenny Hoff, KXAN Austin News. Well, as you can see right now, this rushing water is only a few inches deep, but earlier it was actually touching the bottom of this bridge, making it impossible for anybody who lives up this road to cross. Steve Kinsey is Squirrel Run Road's most valuable neighbor. When the water starts rushing, it's Kinsey who comes to the rescue and clears the road so the families who live here can't cross.
We've got about 10, I believe, that are back up here right now.
And they can't get out?
Not right now, no. Not until I get this log out of here, and even then it'll be iffy.
Though he's happy to help, it's a job Kinsey wished he didn't have to do. See, the county won't maintain this road because it doesn't meet certain standards.
The road's not wide enough. They need 30 feet to county maintain it, and it's only 20 feet wide. But, you know, at least they could do is come in and bring us some gravel.
The county commissioners say they're not authorized to spend taxpayer money on the road, which means when it floods, the residents here are on their own.
It gets serious out here sometimes. We had the sheriff's department come in this morning and go, hey, is everybody okay? We're like, yeah, we're on this side. We're not on that side.
For Jennifer Whitaker, rain on the radar often means a day without pay and her children stuck at home.
There was a lot of kids up here, and it's kind of like writing that note to the school going, flooded in.
And that's why Kinsey is this street's hero, taking on the task of giving his neighbors some relief when Mother Nature won't. The big concern for people living here now is more rain on the way could mean more floods, and that means more days off of school and work. Reporting from Page, Texas, Jenny Hoff, KXAN Austin News. No doubt they're brave.
The only thing we can do is keep our eyes open. If it happens, it happens.
And strong.
We all signed up for this, and we're here to try to make this country a better place.
But even for soldiers who are trained to live in uncomfortable, dangerous, and life-threatening environments like Afghanistan, it can sometimes be too much.
I just want to hold my kids and my husband and see my mom and dad and my brothers and sisters, and just want to do that.
Lieutenant Pamela Klepak Tulensu is a mom of 3. And after only 9 weeks into her 1-year tour of duty in Kabul.
It's one of those things that you don't want to because it'll make it go slower, but I count them down one day at a time.
The loneliness is already overwhelming.
I think about my oldest daughter, her tender kisses on my cheeks. I think about my youngest daughter, her hands.
Pamela will spend the next 10 months here in a small room that acts as her office, her living space, and her escape from the streets outside. A palace, considering where she was just a few weeks earlier.
Whenever we first landed in country, we were living in tents, and we had to walk outside to go to the restroom in sand in our boots.
Her children and husband live in San Angelo, Texas. Her sister lives in New Braunfels. All have given her tokens of saints and prayers to protect her, and pictures to keep her involved in the lives she's missing.
I don't think they're worried because they don't really know, what's going on.
But what's going on is the most dangerous year Afghanistan has experienced since the U.S. waged war on the Taliban in 2001.
You go out on the streets here every day doing tactics training, convoy procedures. You don't know if you're going to come back or not, so you just hope.
Roadside bombs, shootouts, and abductions have taken the lives of 5,300 people this year alone. And the Humvees these soldiers ride in to complete their jobs, in Pamela's case to get to the hospitals she's helping rebuild, are the bombers' #1 target.
My biggest fear is not being able to go home to bed.